it's Saturday, late morning, early afternoon. Last night I went to the Hungry Dragon, which is the new game store that opened near us, where I have my art up. They had sold two pieces of my art, which is great, so I picked up some money. I replaced those pieces of art. I put up two new pieces of art, so I enlarged and embiggened my art display. And then I bought some Magic cards and played Magic for just a little while, maybe like an hour-ish, which is the first time I've done that in a long time, years. And it was fun. Wasn't financially the best decision because the deck I bought was this Commander deck with Doctor Who, and it was like $55, and I had only made $30, so I lost money going there. But that was fine. And I got home, and I don't know, I went to bed. I didn't really work on my art, and now today I'm like, well, I'll work on it today, and I feel like I could just go back to sleep. This is not whining. This is not complaining. This is just like, I don't know what it is lately. I'm less tired and overwhelmed than I had been previously. I'm still pretty stressed and burned out, but compared to 6 months ago, say, I'm doing better. But I don't know. I'm just, when it's time to work, I'm like, I want to go to sleep instead. I'm going to go make a cup of coffee to add to the cappuccino I had, and then I'm going to try to do some work before lunchtime. Somehow I found some motivation. I've been working on it. Godzilla's done. The boat is done. This is something I do like that, and then I'll just finish up the water. But I've been working close to an hour, and I had started the water, and it's still not done. I redid some roughs and looked at a little bit of water reference online. A lot of it is me fabricating water effects, but I don't want it to be completely cartoonish. I'm going to make this commitment to you and to me that I'm going to have to go to lunch soon, and then after that, I'm on duty with my kid, but I will have a little bit of free time in between. I don't feel awesome right now, but I don't feel terrible. However I choose to structure that time in my day, I'm not going to bed until the inks on this are done. Maybe I do more, maybe not, but I have to, because I should be able to finish this. It's ridiculous that I can't. So I'm not going to sleep until this is done. So if I get it done during the day, I go to sleep regular time, great. If not, then I'll be up late, and that's my own stupid fault. Yes. Through this, why? Because I was thinking about Godzilla and the water and the way it should be more splashy, and I remembered I had tilted the boat in an earlier version, and then I untilted it, and I was like, because I didn't like the layout as much, but I was thinking a big mass Godzilla coming up from the depths, so that makes a vacuum of water underneath, doesn't it? And so if there's a vacuum, and then if there was a boat there, it would tilt, so I might need to tilt it to make it more accurate. All right, well, I did put about another 45 minutes in. I did tilt the boat, not crazy a lot, but a little bit this way. I did finish most of the water. I have that layer turned off right now. The two main things I need to finish with the water, and actually I inadvertently got the flats done on that, I guess, or at least the one flat. I need to go in and put some shadows here, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that with black or color. And then I realized I had done all this water that's gonna go over Godzilla, and so I was sort of flatting that to block it out. I don't think I'll have any trouble hitting my goal of finishing the inks by the end of the night, because I kind of could have done that already, but I just started going in a different direction. So still feel like this should have been done weeks ago, but at least I got some work done on it now, and I will hold true to my commitment to finish at the minimum the inks before I go to sleep. It's 10:40 at night, Saturday, and I'm now about to sit down and honor the promise I made to finish the inks on this piece before I go to bed, even though I'm kind of ready to get into bed, maybe not pass out, but, and I forgot that I made this deal with myself. And as I was having dinner with the kid, one of our parent friends was at the new local gaming store where I do the art, the Hungry Dragon, and was like, hey, we're over here and we're just hanging out if you want to come join us. Now, normally I wouldn't, because the kid's bedtime and everything else. But I'm like, you know what? I've not been social. I'm going to go out. It's a thing where I can talk to a person and an adult. The kids will be there. I'm like, I'm going to go out of my comfort zone and whatever. I'm just going to do this. And it took longer than I thought to get out. And then we went out there and it was good. But I got back and wrestled. And now the kid was overtired, put them to sleep and whatever. And then I'm like, oh boy, I'm beat. Okay, got through with that. And it's like, then I went downstairs and I'm like, I'm a little bit hungry. I didn't have a big dinner. Let me have a little snack. I sat with my wife and we watched some TV. And I'm coming up and I'm like, okay, oh, right. I made a promise to do some more work today. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, it's a little after midnight. I've done an hour plus. I think I could say the inks are done. I might tweak things. I might do little things, but that's not like, they're not done. It's like, it's done. When I look at it tomorrow, when I'm coloring it, I might change things, but I'm calling this done. Especially because some of the gray lines I had were clearly meant to be like indicators of color. Like, for example, let me put this in here. That's my, oh wait, that's not the one I wanted. This one where I put some shading. So like these lines are not meant, I never meant them to be ink lines. That's, I don't even know if they'll be gray lines. It's just an indication of like, oh, there's a bright spot here. There may or may not be like literal color lines. These are shadows in the water, that shade, you know, it's all shading that I'm not going to be doing with inking. And so again, I'm calling this done and great. And I'll try to work on it tomorrow, get the flats done, get the colors going. Yes.
Here we go.
Cintiq Gazbot.
I want to try this.
Hey, look, it's a video of me on the video. Today is Monday. Yesterday was rough. This morning was very rough. The later part of the day, not so bad. I'm actually working. I wasn't done inking because there was a little barrel, like the air barrels. I'll show you. These. And I had put one, like they were shooting it into Godzilla's mouth like they did into Jaws' mouth, but this was on this other layer that I completely forgot about, and I've been going back and forth about using it because originally I had it much bigger, but to make it even remotely to scale, it's got to be that tiny, which is actually kind of fine, but I think I had to redraw those and rescale them, and I think I got to redo this. So that's my plan, to do that and maybe do some flats, but it's the end of the night, and I got to have another long day tomorrow and the next day. Oh, this is an interesting area.
He's trapped in there somewhere.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Gazbot. I'm in my pantry, and I found this weird radio and some Quaker Oats. Wait a minute, this isn't my pantry at all. What's going on? What kind of kitchen has skeletons in it? Oh, well, this is normal. This is the thing you normally see in a kitchen. The work that Tech Advisor Azuki has been doing has been, it's been unrelenting. And therefore my on-duty hours have been unrelenting, and I've had downtime, but I've been intentionally trying not to do too much with it. I started off doing a lot, and I was just burning through housework and like, let me get some art done, and like, but I'm like, I need to not burn out because I need to be able to sustain, because who knows how long I have to do this for, and we can't both be burnt out. I know she's getting burnt out. So I am going out to eat, doing activities, everything I can to keep the kid busy and make it easier on me, even if it means spending money I shouldn't be spending. But like, yeah, these commissions are, it's tough. Like these are all commissions of things I want to do. This is like, it's like, this is exactly what I would have wanted like 5 years ago. And now it's like making everything so difficult. Because if I didn't have to worry about commissions, I could just do my duty, unplug, watch a movie, relax, and be fine. But even if I do that, which I'm forcing myself to do, I'm just like racked with guilt and like, oh, I should be doing a thing, but I know I shouldn't, because then, you know, whatever. Yesterday I watched the kid from what time she woke up till the time she went to bed. And, I just like laid in bed and I was like, maybe I'll watch a movie. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I should try to get some art done. And I kind of did nothing. And I looked at my phone for a few hours and I went to bed. And it's like, that's almost worse. But I don't know if other people have this, but I have this thing of like, well, I know there's things I should be doing. There's housework I should be doing. There's commissions I should be doing. There's all kinds of things I should be doing. And if I'm not going to do those, then I shouldn't play video games. I shouldn't work on other art that's just for fun. I shouldn't do, and so it's like, I do nothing. I kind of fart around and do nothing. And it's like, I don't know why. But anyway, today's been a big day. We went out, we did a bunch of stuff in the morning. Then we went out to this place. It's like an old town area, and got lunch with a parent friend and her kid. And then we went to this kids museum thing, which was super cool and fun, but it was a couple hours of standing and walking. And I'm just like, I'm exhausted. And now I'm letting her go to the bathroom, wash her hands and brush her teeth by herself, which never goes well. But I got tired of arguing, and I'm like, okay, go ahead and do it. And if you do a bad job, then you can't do it by yourself for a week. It's just like, what do you mean a week? And it's like, well, then do it correctly. And like, I don't know, everything's a fight. Everything's a fight. It's draining. It's exhausting. But things are generally okay. But I'm just like, we get home and I'm just like, I just want to like take a nap. Again, I feel like this all the time. I just want to like take a nap. And I just heard a door, so I gotta go see what's going on. I'm laying on the floor in the hallway. She did not do a good job by herself. The toilet was clogged. She emptied the toilet paper roll. She's been wanting toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls. And at first it was no big deal because she plays with them, but now she's like actively trying to empty them to get them and is like upset that now she's yelling. I don't know why. Anyway, so then I had to help her get her toothbrush set up. She insists she wants to do it herself, and then she does terrible, and then doesn't understand why I get upset. So now I'm laying on the floor because I can't go relax in the other room, but I can't be standing there watching her. So I'm just sort of sitting here listening for, like, she was supposed to be brushing her teeth. She has an electric toothbrush. She has this little app. She turned it on, but no electric toothbrush. I'm like, what are you doing? Turn it on. She's like, I am. It's like, I hear it's not on. She's like a little liar sometimes. I mean, I know she's a kid, so it's not like real lying, but it's like, oh, I can't trust anything she says. She's a good kid. And here's the thing. We generally had a good day today, but it's like anytime there's transitions, like washing hands, going to the bathroom, brushing teeth, changing clothes, getting into a car seat, going out to go somewhere, getting back from going somewhere. Any of these things are just a nightmare. Once we're doing the thing, it's fine. But it's just like, I don't want to do anything. It's like, it's like all the human, it's all like health and safety, human stuff, you know? Like, we have no problem having fun. We have no problem doing learning stuff. We have no problem with any of that. But it's like, oh, could you please not be disgusting? Could you please rest? That's a huge fight. Hi, could you please get in your car seat so you don't go flying around the car while we drive? No, that's not okay. Uzi, you're doing a good job, though. Don't worry. Got her settled in. I am going to try to take a nap. That's why I don't have a shirt on, because my shirt's dirty and I'm getting into bed and whatever. I'm a new person now. That's not something I would have thought about before. It's not something I would have thought about now, but I have this partner who is concerned about dirt. Normal. But anyway, I think what a part of it is, it's not that anything she's doing, the daughter, is that horrible, but like we're out. It seems like the more I do, the more I put myself out there, the more I extend myself to be the good parent, the more I suffer for it later. Because if we just sort of hung around at home and like, all right, time to go read a book and have independent play so I could have a break, it would have like been a little easier. But we were out and doing active stuff, and I get back and it's later than it normally is, and I'm physically tired, and I'm tired of dealing with her BS, and it's like now she's making everything harder. And here's the other thing, like I want to just get home and be done. But we picked up groceries on the way home. It was about 45 minutes, I'd say, from the time we got home till the time she gets in there and I could actually relax. And it's like she wants to help with the groceries, but it's not like, oh, it's so nice she wants to help. It's like almost like it's like aggressive, like I'm helping, come on. And she's like picking up stuff too heavy and falling over, and like, you know, it's nice that she wants to help, but it's not helping. Then she, has to go to the bathroom and do this and that, and everything's a fight and a battle. And then, okay, now she's got to change her clothes, but that's a battle because her clothes are dirty and she wants to lay in her bed during her break time or her book time. And then I got to get the book, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, all that doesn't always take 45 minutes, but it always takes a while. And meanwhile, I'm just like, every minute that passes, it's like, I just want to be done. I want to go to the bathroom, lay down, get a drink, whatever it is I want to do. And that's what I'm going to do now. It's 8:30. I haven't done any work. I'm not going to do any work. It's going to be another day where I sit here and try to not lay in bed and watch my phone. The other thing is, like, I rally and then get knocked back down because, like, I was like, okay, got her done, all her stuff. Come on downstairs, clean up your room. She's taking forever to clean up her room, but it's giving me time. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat some cookies for dinner. Bad choice, but I did it. Felt a little better. I'm like, I have this action figure I haven't opened up. And so I had a little time to myself. She's not doing what she's supposed to. She's supposed to be cleaning her room coming down, but I'm just letting that happen because whatever. Finally, she comes down, she's eating, but she's had accidents. She potty trained recently. She was a late potty trainer and hasn't had accidents for weeks. She had one accident in like the last month, I want to say. She's doing really good. She had a small one when we were out today at the museum, and then somehow she had two in her room. But the way she dealt with that was she had some pee in her underwear, took it off, put it in the laundry, then peed in a second pair of underwear, took it off, put it in the laundry, didn't change her pants. So I had to take all of that is now in the, like, I can't just leave pee stuff in the laundry. And I'm like, why, when you had the accident, didn't you go to the potty and like let the rest out? She's like, I didn't have any more. I'm like, clearly you did. Clearly you did. So while she's eating, I'm like, I'm going to put this laundry in. I don't want to do laundry right now, but I got to do it. And it comes out to put in the dryer, and it's covered in like white, like fake snow, and it's sticky and slimy because there was not one, but two disposable diapers in there. How fun. We haven't used disposable diapers in at least a week. We were using them at night. One was a nighttime diaper, one's a daytime diaper. So somehow, I don't know if they were dirty or clean or what, but she had put them in the laundry. And I didn't look. I just dumped it all in because why would there be disposable diapers in the laundry? It's never happened before. And now that we're done using diapers, would never expect it. So that made a huge mess. Luckily, it wasn't as difficult to clean up as I thought, but it still was a huge, big bummer. And I just, one hit after another. And then I finally just got her into bed. And, yeah. It's, if you want to be an artist, don't have kids. That's a bit dramatic, but it's kind of true. Expect to not be able to get anything done for a few years. And I did expect that, which is why I waited so long to have kids. And the end is in sight. The light at the end of the tunnel. Like, things have generally gotten better, but it's the fact that he was working so much, I don't even have a couple hours to myself in the day. So I really, when I have time now, I'm just exhausted and don't want to do anything. And also my patience wears thin. Like, I can only maintain and not get not get burned out, not, kind of do the gentle parent nice thing for so long. And then the hits keep coming and coming. And then it's like 8 o'clock and I'm like, I've been doing this for 13 hours now, kid, so it's just a rough time right now. Hey, it's me, Gazbot, again, with my groovy, soothing voice. Yeah. The last couple days, I haven't been sick in a while. It is misty out. But the last couple days, I've had sort of a dry cough, but not all day. Just like, when I lay down to go to bed or randomly after lunch and just like like I really wanted to clear my throat or like I irritated my throat. Anyway, it's been for like 3 days, but not all day. Just like I'd forget I even had it. I don't know where it came from. I don't feel sick at all. But I woke up today sounding like this. Now, I did talk a lot yesterday. There's a lot of running around, yelling in the museum and stuff. So maybe I just exerted my voice. And I otherwise feel fine. It's almost 8. The kid is still asleep. Now, this is a late morning for that, which is good. I'm in my office. I don't think I'm going to get any real work done. But what I'm going to try to do is transfer my file for Godzilla -1. I flattened the inks, and I'm working on colors. I'm going to put it on the cloud so that I could grab it with my iPad so that if I have opportunities today, such as when she's at gymnastics or whatever, where I might have a few minutes, I could work on the color on the iPad. It's not ideal, but I'm trying to move it forward. And today was supposed to be the end of like the crunch period for Q's work, which meant it would be the end of the crunch period for me. In theory, again, it would enter another phase, which might still be busy, but that deadline has been pushed back, which means that this stressful period continues. But work still needs to get done, and while I often feel hopeless at the end of the day, I often feel hopeful at the beginning of the day, and it's the beginning of the day, so you're meeting this version of me right after the version from last night, which wasn't too thrilled. All right, it's 8:20. I can't believe she's still asleep, and success. I was worried that the file might be too big or too many layers, whatever. So it's now on my iPad. My goal will be to do the flats, like get all the little intricate details in here, and then start getting some of the teeth and kind of simple stuff. Because I think if I start getting into too many layers or trying to use brushes to get like subtle colors, it's not going to do well. But for just again filling in colors like coloring book style, it should work. Oops, get out of here. Yesterday, see this stuff? It almost looks like fake snow. See it all over there? There's some on the floor and there. That's what I found, and this is after it's been cleaned on everything and just on all over the clothes. I was pretty sure I was going to throw the clothes away. I was worried the laundry machine or the dryer were ruined. Went online, saw some people talking about the exact same thing happening, and the general gist was like, it's fine. This stuff, it's horrible and sticky and like glue when it's wet, but when it's dry, it's not that big a deal. So I shook all the clothes out, and I'm getting this. I shook all the clothes out, and I thought I was more awake than I am. What did I do? Did I shake the clothes out? Yeah, I shook all the clothes out, and then I put them in the dryer, and the idea being that it just dries it out and goes in the lint trap. Now, I think because I maybe had 2 diapers, it's like overflowing, so I think I'm gonna have to wash them again. I also took the washer and put it on like a self-wash cycle, so it's in much better shape than it was last night, but I could tell I'm still gonna have to vacuum some stuff up and maybe wash them and dry them again, which sucks because I didn't plan on doing any wash, and now I'm doing like 4 loads essentially, or runs, whatever. but at least everything will be okay in the end. So not much, but I did manage to get maybe 30 minutes of coloring, which is mostly these 3 characters, and a lot of the fittings on here, which is tedious but not difficult. Reference. It's 7:16 Thursday, and I am off duty, which I didn't expect to be. I worked a bit. I say worked because, like, my kid is my job, but I was on duty longer than I normally would be, but I didn't have to stay on duty all night. So the big project, crunch time, all that stuff has been extended, and I wasn't sure if that meant that, what that meant. And I still might be pulling a little bit extra more time, but today's the beginning of not 24 hours, at least. So that's good. And I got done, and I've been laying here, but it's not even 8 o'clock as opposed to, laying here. Like, I'm hoping I can lay here, recover a little bit, and then go do something. Hopefully art, but if not, just something productive other than literally just laying here like I've been doing the past couple days. Yeah, more frustrations with the kid. I feel like maybe she's getting a little bit more like, no, I won't do that. Maybe I'm getting a little bit more impatient. Maybe it's because of the longer days. I don't know, but I definitely am glad to have a bit of a break because I feel like I start the day being a much better parent than I end the day. Yeah, that's it for now. Was I gonna say something else? I don't know, but it's the goof. It's the goof. It's Friday morning.
Can I be in a video?
You can. What do you want to say?
What's this video all about?
Well, I do lots of different videos. This one is sort of an art blog or vlog.
Huh?
It's kind of like I talk about my day and how things are going.
Can you make me being seen in this?
You want to be seen in the video?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to do that because I'm putting this on the internet and I don't want to put your face out there for everybody to see. This isn't something just for our family.
Aww.
Yeah, but they could hear you, so you could tell them whatever you want. What do you want to say?
Yes, but it's mostly just with talking with you.
Yes, well, it's even me. I'm just mostly talking. But it's Friday. It's very early. We have no power in the house for a few hours, so we are going out to eat to meet the Gaga, and then we will the Gaga to go eat some food, and we'll see what kind of food we eat. I'm gonna get eggs. What are you gonna get?
I don't know.
Fair. We'll look at the menu and see. What?
Wait, I know.
What?
I'm gonna get that little bear pancake thing.
Oh, that's a great idea. The bear pancake thing. Okay. Sounds good. Had breakfast with my mom, and she is now watching the kid while I take a quick ride over to Ross and get myself a Starbucks, which will basically be my lunch. I brought my iPad, but it's been a little bit chaotic. Not bad chaotic, but like socializing. Well, I also am feeling bad, so I was using her restroom. And I did do a little bit of drawing, but I kind of did like a rough sketch on my character Boots' head, which I do not like. And that's all I did. Better than nothing, touched it. Should have worked on the Godzilla thing. I'm hoping that between this sort of, even though I don't feel good physically in terms of the day, it hasn't been terribly stressful. It's been a nice day. And I'm hoping between that and the fact that I should be off duty, not too late tonight, I'll be able to get some work done. Yeah. A second, Ross. I had just got this expensive version of this for me, and my daughter was excited to play with it. And I'm like, I don't know, but maybe I could find a cheap one. And not only is this the cheap one, but it's on crazy discount. What luck. Friday, 10:30. I just did half hour, 40 minutes coloring flats. I finished the flats on the boat. All the flats on the boat, done. Nothing less than I would have liked to have done. I just did 45 minutes on the treadmill and wanted to jump right in the shower, but I forced myself to draw first because I feel like once I go in the shower, I'm gonna want to go to bed. So I did something. Okay, Saturday morning. It's a weird day. Last night, got woken up in the middle of the night by the kid, which hasn't happened in a while. So I wasn't accustomed to it. It's like 4 a.m. Couldn't find her sock, which is, of course, is something you wake up and scream about in the middle of the night. Never was resolved, I think, by me. And then later, after I got her back to sleep, I was sort of sitting in the bathroom, not able to go to sleep myself now, and she was screaming again because she had found it. And I suspect that she hid it herself. Can't prove that in a court of law, of course, so we'll just say, allegedly. Regardless, that messed up my sleep. But today was my day to sleep in, And I woke up around, I think, 8, which is, I think, when she got up, which is late. My wife went and took care of things, tech advisor at Zuki. But then they didn't really get going until like 9, and I kind of like sort of slept until 9, and we all kind of got up at like 9, which is super late. The cats need to be fed, so they're screaming their heads off. And I was like, I'm gonna go get Dunkin' Donuts. And they're like, let's do Dunkin' Donuts for everybody. So I did that and got back in, and I had a pile of stuff I was going through last night in the bedroom that I had to clear out. So like my day didn't start until almost 11, like in terms of being done with just waking up and having breakfast and whatever. And now I am sitting at my desk with I just moved this file back from my iPad to here. And there's always a color differential, which is weird because this is RGB and so is my iPad, but it looks much more saturated and dark. And there's ways to do things with monitors that I don't understand and have never done and don't have the time to learn or do right now. So every time I color something, I'm like, that looks pretty good, knowing it'll look a little different when I print it and just hoping that it holds together. And usually it does, although sometimes the main issue I have is sometimes it comes out darker and muddy. And then if that does happen, I will sometimes go back and adjust the colors after I do a print of it. But I'm feeling that feeling I've talked about. The touchscreen on the Cintiq is this is the new Cintiq that I got because my old one broke, and I almost kind of prefer the old one in a lot of ways. Like there are some things with this that are much better. I like that it has a touchscreen, but it's worse than the touchscreen on my iPad. I'm always hitting things I don't mean to hit and like closing out whole windows because part of my arm touched it and stuff. But also, I don't like the pen as much. In terms of usability, it's fine, but it's just this little thin. It feels like it weighs nothing, and I don't know. I just missed having the grip. Also, the stand, which they make you buy separate, and it's hundreds of dollars, and you have to buy it. It's like if you don't, it just lays flat. The old one, I could like adjust up and down with like a pull, and it had little like wheelies, so I could wheel it around real easy. This one doesn't, so I have to like kind of pick up the whole thing and move it. And I guess the idea is that you're not supposed to be moving it all the time, but most artists I know do. And what was the other thing that the moving it up and down is more difficult too. Anyway, so now I'm at the point though where this is all flatted. I need to finish the flats on Godzilla. I'm going to start with the teeth and the tongue and things like that I'd have to. But Godzilla, in this iteration, -1, is sort of all one color, sort of a grayish color, but then there's this sort of fleshy tan color on spots. After that, it's a lot of like, let me try different colors and figure things out, and that's the same with the water. So I have these two, nebulous areas of coloring, which is where I start to be like, oh, what am I going to do here? And I don't know color theory, and I'm also don't have time to learn that. So I just test and see what looks good and see what looks good, and that's just to get the base down, and then I go into the shading and stuff like that. Also, I'm having difficulty because I have to separate the sky from the water, and my inclination is to want to make it dark and atmospheric and put some crazy purples or something, but both Jaws and Godzilla -1, which are the two scenes I'm kind of parodying, mashing up, what do you want to call homaging, happen during the day with clear skies and clear water. So there is such a thing as artistic license, but that's not really what I'm supposed to be doing here. So I have to make it blue and blue. Now, obviously, I'll probably end up making the sky or the water lighter is what I'll probably end up doing because right now everything's so dark. There's no way I'm going darker. But yeah, I'm going to start with the gums and the teeth and the tongue and the objective things that are easy to do to kind of get myself going, and then we'll see where we're at. But I'm going to make a cup of coffee first. Decaf, because I already had a cappuccino. But it's raining and cold out, and I like a nice warm coffee. I do like that it's raining and cold out. I'm very much enjoying the end of March where we're still getting cold, dark days because I know summer's coming, and I hate summer. Surprisingly, I've done a pretty good job of working today. Not that I'm done necessarily, but I put in more than an hour, 2 hours. I kind of lost track because I've had to stop a few times. But I was feeling kind of intimidated by Godzilla. I went in and did the mouth. I wasn't worried about that. And then I put in some tan tones. Let me see if I could erase that. I put in, so that was just the base color. One thing I did, which I do sometimes, is I had my roughs underneath and I erased it everywhere but where Godzilla was and put it in at 25%. And that just gives like a little bit of texture. Then I put in these tans and kind of like lightly did highlights. You can see my reference up here. I lightly did highlights, and then I just booped some highlights on top of that. So right there, I was feeling a lot better about things. I changed the sky. As much as I talked about it being a sunny day, I looked at this reference and like, well, it's daytime, but it's not sunny. It is a little overcasty, kind of whited out. So I did that. And then what really helped was I had a blue layer of shadows, and I put that in, and that really added some dimension to it. And then on top of that, I just put in some more water dripping. So we're not done, but I'm in the phase where I feel like, okay, this is going good. I lightened up some of the shadows here. I feel like I still need to work on this water a little bit. I'm not 100% happy with the color. I think I need to fade it out up here is the main thing I need to do. Do some more shading here. So there's still more work to do, but I feel like, I got over that hurdle where I was like, what am I doing? It's about, I don't know, 8:30. I just got the kid down. She's not asleep, but, hopefully. I ordered myself a pizza. Tech Advisor Azuki is out for the night with a friend of hers having dinner. And I'm going to rewatch Ghostbusters. Not the original movie, specifically Afterlife, which was the sequel, the actual sequel, the one in 2016, which a lot of people hated. I didn't mind that one, but it wasn't a sequel. It was a completely different thing. Because the sequel to this sequel is out this week, and maybe I'll see it in a day or two, but I kind of don't remember that one that well. Which is not a stunning endorsement for how good it was. I remember enjoying it. I remember the ending and some other stuff. I kind of forget how it starts and like the non-Paul Rudd and yeah, I just forget some of the specifics. And I feel like watching a movie and I'm eating a pizza and could I be doing more work? Sure, but I'm telling myself I'm going to do that work tomorrow. Although I'm also telling myself I'm going to go see a Ghostbusters movie tomorrow and go to the Hungry Dragon. And it's that whole balance of like, okay, I'm not as burned out as I was, so I got to try to do stuff. And I did some art, so I have permission to do other things. And life. So I was sitting in this chair and I watched Ghostbusters, the semi-new one. Tech Advisor Azuki came home earlier than expected. We had to catch up on a bunch of stuff. Then I watched the movie, ate too much pizza, and went to bed. My mom said she was going to babysit so that the two of us could go see the new Ghostbusters movie. So that will be happening later today. Later today? What do you mean? It's nighttime. I'm still sitting in the same chair. Well, it's not nighttime. It's early morning. It's I think it's just before 6. I've been up since 5 because the child had an accident in bed, a pee-style accident. I handled that, kind of assumed she was going to be up because it was 5 in the morning and that was kind of close enough. She actually fell right back asleep. Not right back, but she's asleep now. I did not. And I tried for a while, and now I'm downstairs and I'm going to have a cup of coffee and watch TV for a little bit. And if she wakes up soon, great, here I am, I'm ready. If she doesn't, then I'll try to get some artwork done or something else. But not a great start to the day. The cats seem happy about it. They're just jamming all over. Why is the light on? I'm sorry about the light in your face, Susie. It's about 7:30. With my second coffee, I actually did some laundry and some other household things I needed to do after I watched a little TV. I'm gonna try to do some coloring on the Godzilla minus one right now until the Kraken awakens. Bringing the cups downstairs. So it's 8 o'clock and the kid is still asleep. This is a late day. And maybe it's because she was up in the middle of the night. It's sort of a, putting cups down, sort of a good and bad situation because I have a little extra time in the morning to get some stuff done. Having a quiet, pleasant morning, which is very rare. But had I been able to go back to sleep, I would have had a very restful night instead of the less than 5 hours that I had. I'm at the Regal Cinemas, gonna go see a 12:50 Ghostbusters on an IMAX screen. So that's that. And look, there's Garfield the movie. I think he's a baby in this one. Dit grot. Also, I have some commissions coming up. The second to last one, I said to them, I'm like, look, I have a bunch of commissions. I don't know when I'm going to get to this. I'll let you know when I'm taking commissions again. And they're like, never mind, that's fine. I'll just send you the deposit now and you get it to me whenever you can. And I'm like, okay, we'll do that then. But then I'm like, well, it's still there. And they say whenever you can, but that's not an unlimited timeline. That means, in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, at some point it's due. But I did it. I took it. And these are all good commissions of stuff I want to do. And they're all contacting me. I've talked about this before. It's just wild. I don't know what's going on. And then today I got another request for a commission for some more Ultraman cards. And these are all from people I don't know. It's not like people I recognize that have bought from me before, or I met at a convention, or, follow me on any of my, they're all just random people that somehow found me. And this person asked about getting some Ultraman sketch cards. And I said, listen, no. I said, I'm not taking commissions right now. I will let you know when I'm done. Now, hopefully they'll take no for an answer, because the last person didn't, and I could have still said no, but I'm like, well, if you're not giving me any deadline. And another person who I had done one sketch card for already wanted more. And I said, same thing. I'm like, well, I don't know, well, also, I don't know how many AP cards I have left because there's a limited amount I get. And it's going to be a while. And they said, oh, I have some. I'll send them to you. So they're just sending them to me, and get it done whenever you can. So I'm like, all right. And that is actually much better because the prices I charge, like there's my sketch price, but part of it is the fact that these AP cards are hard to come by, and some are easier and harder for me specifically. So if they're providing the cards, I'm like, all right, well, I'll just do it for this price regardless. The prices vary based on the card, but I mean, the art itself is generally the same price. So I'm like, okay, well then here's the price. You're sending me the cards, great, pay this price. So again, it's a good problem to have, but it's just so odd to me that I don't know what algorithm, where, and it's not like I suddenly got 100,000 new followers or something. Everything on my social media looks the same, except that in the last month or two, several people persistently have been trying to commission me, which is a nice feeling, but it's just weird. It's just weird. So it's 15 or so on Monday night. I didn't get work done during my break. What did I do? I don't know. I talked to Q for a little while and caught up some stuff. And then I don't even know what I did for the rest of the time. A lot of laying on the bed. And I wasn't feeling horrible. I've talked about this before. Sometimes where I'll kind of do extra stuff during the day and then later on find out I have to work more, or that, the kid's being difficult or whatever. And then I'm like, I wish I'd taken it easier. And I was sort of doing that. But I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I shouldn't do this. But I did. And then I ended up having to watch the child longer than I had anticipated, and we went out and did a bunch of stuff, and I came back, and so it was kind of good that I relaxed a little bit. That being said, I did just do a whole bunch of work after dinner on Godzilla -1, which I'm glad of, because I also had a meeting, a virtual meeting, a video chat, if you will, with some of my friends. I would say my New Jersey friends. They are my friends from New Jersey. One still lives in New Jersey, the other lives in Florida. But anyway, I did that, and I still put an hour plus, maybe 2 hours. This is what I like to call done. If I had a deadline and a boss and I had to hand this in right now, I could. I did a lot more. I did some more shading and some more water effects, and I put some red in, and I did some more shading here, and I went back and forth on some of the water stuff, and I put a bunch of little tiny white water splatter dots that probably nobody will ever see. And it's done. I keep going back to the ship wanting to put more detail or shading on it, but I feel like it's got enough, and the Godzilla should have more, but I keep looking at it, and then I have this sort of, they're so colorful and detailed, and everything else is sort of plain, but that's kind of how the sky looked. And where I'm at now is I just was like, what if I threw some purple in? And I'm like, I kind of like the way that looks, but it's maybe too much opacity, so what if I brought it down to 10? And then it's like, you can barely see it. What if I did that a few more times? I'm not sure. It's done? It's pretty much okay to be done. I think Godzilla's done. The water, the sky and Godzilla, I'm 100% happy with. The boat in the water, I'm like, could I make it better? I don't know. Should I keep messing with it? I don't know. And that's where I'm at. I'm going to mess with it for a while more and then probably call it done and then look at it tomorrow and see where I'm at. Get it. It's Monday, late afternoon, early evening. Yesterday I was talking about how I was just sort of letting things happen in the bathroom. And it wasn't the worst scene ever, but there was some things that needed to be cleaned up. Specifically, there was poop touching. Not like all over the walls and stuff, but just like, instead of just wiping and being done, kind of like, I don't know, I touched things and I shouldn't have, and there's, not me, the child, and I had to clean that. So it was one of those things like, oh, this is what I get. Anyway, I did finish -1. And I sent it to the client, and they're thrilled with it. Great, because I was having some apprehension about certain things. Like, I knew it was done and fine and whatever, but you never know. I did get an idea to make a modification that I might do if I make prints of it, which I probably will, but I might also run it by the client, be like, hey, would you like this version? Where I was thinking maybe, because when I was cropping it, I like the idea of having black lines on the top and bottom. It makes it look like I don't know, more cinematic in some way. And I've been dealing with a lot of commissions, as I've said, which is, a good problem to have. But I'm dealing with people through Instagram, through Facebook, through Etsy, through all different social media and communications, and all different timelines, and all different payment methods, and all different prices, and things like that. And so this person, I had said, I at some point I had said something like $50 deposit, and then half because they wanted to see a work in progress, like a rough, like layout rough, whatever, for approval, which I gave them, which I, don't always, but I'm happy to if people ask. Doesn't mean they get to have me do it 50 more times, but like just make sure we're on the same page and this looks good. And somewhere in there I said, oh, and then pay half of the balance once you approve the rough, and then half when you see the final artwork. But I think I said that like not in the beginning, so it was like I kind of said two things, and so they ended up. I sent them the follow-up rough, or the initial rough, and they approved it and didn't send the half payment. So other than $50, they owe me the entire amount. And I saw that, but I'm like, well, that's fine. I've worked this way before, and they've bought art from me before, and this is all fine. But I just sent them the final, and I was running late. Like I had originally said it would be done at the beginning of the previous month, and I talked to them, I'm like, it's gonna be a little late, and they're like, that's fine. And so I'm like, here's what's due. And they're like, yep, I agree, that's what's due. And they're like, well, I'm gonna send you this small amount today. And then I have my mortgage and X, Y, and Z, and money's gonna be tight, so I'll get you some more in a couple weeks. And that is not what I wanted to hear. And that is not how this is supposed to go, because even going by the other version, like where they weren't going to give me half at the rough, fine, then it's all due now. It was always that. And they knew it was coming, and it's even later than it was supposed to come. So they should have that money aside. And I don't think they're going to stiff me. And I've already gotten some money. It's not like I've gotten none, but I've gotten, less than half of what is owed currently. And luckily, the one I sent them, it was a low res, and I had a watermark on it and everything, so it's not like they could run away with it. Being who this person is, I don't think they're trying to take advantage. I don't think they're trying to get away with something free. I think maybe they mismanaged their money or misjudged. And now it's this thing of, I don't really want people giving me money that they can't afford to give me. That might not be the case, but I don't want that. I don't want to be like, well, I bought that art, and so, I can't pay my gas bill. I don't ever want that. But I did do the work, and I put the time aside, and I put the effort in, and I wasn't going to draw this otherwise, so I do want to get paid what we agreed on, and I don't like that it's like now, okay, well, it'll be coming soon, because I was also, I talked before about my art fund being depleted. Not my money as a person and my family, but my art business fund was mostly depleted. I only had a couple $100 left in it. I have 2 shows that I'm booking. Well, I have this midnight market thing next week, but that was cheap. It was a cheap table. And but I have 2 shows coming. One I just bought a ticket for, and that Robo Toy Fest, and that pretty much ate up the rest of my money. So I have like 0 or even negative in my art account right now. And I want to book another show, Power Morphicon, and I need to put in a print order. And so my thought was, I'm going to get the money from this, and that will cover my print order and some or all of the table for the next show I'm going to do. Now, that money's still kind of coming, but I'm like, oh, am I going to have to put it on my credit card or borrow for myself? Now, this is not the problem of the client. My finances are not their problem, but the idea was I deliver this, I get the money, and that hasn't happened. And so it irks me. It irks me. I'm not going to say anything to them because in my experience, first of all, my experience, that never makes things better. It always makes things worse. Because unless I'm like, you better give me the money, you deadbeat. And even then, you just don't get it sometimes. So, and if they really are going through some kind of hard time, I don't want to pile on and seem like a monster. But the whole thing it irritates me. I had a hard time getting through with this. I feel like I did a really good job. I delivered it, and then they're like, well, I'll get the money soonish. I'm like, okay, all right. It was a bummer. It was a bummer. It also makes me think, I don't like taking all money up front. A couple people, because I told them I couldn't take commissions right now, they're like, we'll just send you all the money. And one person just gave me all the money up front, having never worked with me before. And I'm like, that's dangerous. I know I'm not going to rip them off, but for a while, including just now, I'd be like, well, give me a deposit and then half and half. I might just start saying half up front, which could still result in me getting screwed or at least having to wait for my money. But if I had half up front and then they sent this little small payment, then I'd be at least over the halfway mark instead of underneath the halfway mark. I don't know. It's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a deal, but it's a bummer. It's a bummer. Hey, it is almost 9 a.m. on Wednesday, and yesterday was a good day. I felt healthy. I had enough energy. I felt good emotionally, productivity, motivationally. We got out of the house. We did some stuff at Vale HQ, which is the local farmers market, had a good lunch. I was able to get a bunch of housework done. And it's that kind of housework where it's not just like, well, I took out the trash, but it's like, oh, I cleaned that jar of pickled eggs that's been in the fridge since Thanksgiving, like the kind of chores that you just don't do for a very long time. And that was a literal one. That was not an example. And then I also communicated with a bunch of clients. I did have that one issue with one not paying when I thought they would, but whatever. I finished up a rough for my next big 11x17 commission, and I sent it to them, and they approved it. I recorded Action Activate with my buddy Alex. I had a really good time with the kid. She had difficulty going to bed at night, but other than that, it was like a banner day with like very little conflict and mostly just fun. Yeah. Oh, and I booked. Tech Advisor Azuki and I finalized details for our New Jersey trip, which was going to be next month, and then we had to cancel all that and set it all up again. So that got all set up for a few months from now. And I booked Robo Toy Fest to table at in a couple months, as well as reached out to a Power Ranger actor to see if they needed prints or wanted to collaborate or anything like that. And I started proceedings to book Power Morphicon. There's probably more that I did, but like, yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. So here's hoping today will be even half that good. It's 11:30. I'm at my mom's house. I'm just leaving my mom's house. She's gonna watch the kid for about an hour. I actually did a little bit of revising on the rough earlier today. So I actually got like, not a lot of, like 10, 15 minutes of drawing, but the fact that I did that at all is amazing. The weather has been gorgeous. It's just like sunny and almost cold. And it's just like the tiniest breeze, and it's been like this for a while, and I'm just enjoying the crap out of it. Not looking forward to summer, but just really enjoying how gorgeous it's been lately. I am going to the store because I need to get to this. What is today? Today's Wednesday. Sunday is Easter. And I have a lot of stuff from last year. Like I have the hollow eggs in a basket and stuff. And I even a couple toys that we've been hanging on to. But I have like no Easter candy at all. And I wanted to pick up a couple Easter things from Target. And I've been there a few times, but with the kid that needs to not see the Easter thing. So I'm going to go there and do that. Maybe get a coffee, fart around a little bit. Yeah, I do have artwork that needs to be done, but the pressure of that -1 is off. And like, the art's been flowing, as Frankie B. Washington would say, on this one. So I'm feeling pretty good where I have art that needs to be done, but I don't feel that crunch pressure anymore. I'm just feeling pretty good. The last couple days have been good days overall for me. I know I've been whining a lot and whatever, but like, I don't know. Things are lining up. I know it won't last forever, but it's a good one today. I don't know their name, but they're the mascot of the Popping Pow 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 candy. And this is Watermelon Pow 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 Bam Boom candy.
Whoa.
I think they might be a cat. Like a pirate cat, maybe? Whoa, pow, 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 pow.
Whoa, that's loud.
Yeah, yesterday I did some more work on the Power Rangers commission I have. I have to look at my timelines to see if it makes more sense to keep working on the Power Rangers or to transfer the 5 sketch cards I had. I was talking about somebody else that wanted to commission me for some sketch cards, and I was like, I hope they take no for an answer, and they don't seem to be taking no for an answer, but I think there's a communication barrier there too, which is adding to it. Again, good problems to have, first world problems. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna end it here on a positive note. Okay, see you later. Easter's in like 3 days. I need to plan for that. I also have okay, so the next video you're gonna watch is gonna be the Moonlight Market, which is Friday, which I've never done. And one thing that I just sort of realized is I don't have a lighting rig. I have a light that I sometimes bring if I'm going to interview somebody or something, and I used to do caricatures, and it's enough to kind of sort of illuminate one person or my paper, but to show my display at night, if there's not enough ambient light, which there might not be, I might have to bring a generator with me. It's madness, but anyway, that's it for now. Dropping phones, making weird Inception videos.